Hello, I'm Mesoteric, and we're back for some more Pokemon Red and Blue walkthrough. In this part, we're continuing our journey and completing the Pokedex. This is the second part of my 5-part little journey. I'm doing 30 Pokemon per part. We're doing 31 through 60. And we're starting off with evolving our Nidorina into Nidoqueen. It's pretty simple. You can't catch Nidoqueen in the wild, so you just gotta use that one of the 5 Moonstones in the game. And I didn't realize there were so many Moonstones, because I only thought there were like 2 or 3 in the game. But like in this playthrough, I found one in the Pokemon Mansion, and I think I found the third one was in the Rocket Hideout. And the first 2 were in Mount Moon, and one was, I forgot what the last one was. But anyways, I caught Nidoran male here. You saw in a little graphic I put up on the screen where you can find that. But you need Pokemon Red though. I don't think. Well, Pokemon Red is easier to get. And here we got Nidorino. You can evolve Nidoran to Nidoran male to level 16, or just get in Safari Zone, or in the Rocket Game Corner if you have Pokemon Blue. I went for the Safari Zone because it's like I can knock out a couple of stones out, a couple of birds out with one stone at once. Horrible with that saying, but I was able to get Parasect, Nidorina, and a couple other Pokemon here all in one go through. So it's a good place to catch all the new Pokemon. Anyways, that's Nidorino. Now we're gonna go to Nidoking. So you got this another Moonstone usage right here, the second one thus far, and another easy obtaining of a Pokemon. And there you go. I don't have the game audio here because I didn't want to. I don't know. I just feel like that wasn't some of the stuff like this one. This is why actually I didn't want the game audio here, because this is from an old part. This is from part 5 when I was in Mount Moon, and it still has my old commentary over it. So I had to be talking over myself. So I just like got rid of all the audio and just put some nice little music in the background. Just to not worry about that headache. But anyways, this is Clefairy. Only it's pretty rare Pokemon. As you've seen the sidebar, 6% chance on this particular floor in Mount Moon to catch. And once you're in the battle, it's not too hard to catch. Just keep trucking whatever balls you have. Eventually you get it. But beware. I think Clefairy knows Sing, so that could be annoying. But yep, pretty simple here. I remember these good old days when I had only Nova, Sam, and Emil. Simpler times indeed. But it was actually a lot rougher times though. I wasn't uploading as frequently. But anyways, I evolved Clefairy with my 3rd Moonstone into Clefable. And voila, a beautiful Clefable. Actually, ain't a half bad Pokemon. Ain't as a maximum potential in this game, but it's still pretty good. This is a Pokemon Blue exclusive. It's Vulpix. Was not able to get this because I had Pokemon Red exclusive Growlithe. And Vulpix you can find around 7, 8, or Pokemon Mansion, just like Growlithe and Pokemon Red. And you see again, I had the Pokemon Blue outline because I'm playing this on a different emulator with the Pokemon Blue cartridge. So I had to catch Vulpix here, and I traded it off to my main save file Pokemon Red, which I think I'm gonna show here. Here's the Pokedex entry. Timbre has 1 tails, and the tails. I pressed A too fast. I'm not here to show off all the Pokedex entries, but I am here to show that I catch all the Pokemon. So that's the most important thing. But here's me. I named myself John. Like, I think it was the first option the game gave you as a default option, so I just picked that one because I don't really care about this. But I spent like a whole, I don't know if it was a whole day, but it was definitely like a whole morning trying to like, not beating everything in Pokemon Blue, but like getting to every place, getting to Cinnabar Island so I can get like to every place, so I can get every Pokemon. I spent a whole morning doing that. It actually took me a little bit of time, even though I was playing it like sped up, like in 10 times speed, but it still took me a little bit of time, so I had to do that. But anyways, now that we have Vulpix on Pokemon Red file, I went over to the department store in Celadon City, bought a Firestone, and I evolved Vulpix into Ninetales. And I always forget to mention this when you see Ninetales. It's not Ninetales as in has 9 9 appendages coming out of its rear. It has its tails as in stories. Why they spell tails T-A-L-E-S instead of T-A-I-L-S? I don't get that. Anyways, Jigglypuff, we can find this on Route 3. Is it Route 3? It's the route right before. Yeah, it is Route 3, because that's the route with all the trainers right after Pretty City, and you can find a little patch of grass there and get Jigglypuff. I bypassed in the beginning of the game, but you can get it here. Huge eyes when it sings a mysteriously soothing melody that lulls its enemies to sleep. Yeah, and we are going to evolve Jigglypuff here. You can get the evolution of Jigglypuff in the unknown dungeon or with the Moonstone. I went for the Moonstone because we haven't encountered the unknown dungeon quite yet. And here we go. This is a much easier way to get Wigglytuff, and it still has that creepy ass sprite. Anyways, we're moving on to Zubat. You can find Zubat in pretty much every cave. Mount Moon, Rock Tunnel, Seafoam Islands, and Victory Road. It's a decently kind Pokemon. You shouldn't have that hard of a time catching it. Just put it to sleep. If you have a sleep-inducing Pokemon, or just check balls at it. It's pretty simple. Forms colonies in perpetually dark places. Uses ultrasonic waves to identify and approach targets. Kinda like an actual bat, but I'm pretty sure actual bats have some sort of sense of sight. So a lot of S's there. And go back, you can evolve Zubat to level 22, I believe, or you can find it in, again, the dungeons listed. But again, I caught mine in Victory Road, so I didn't want to have the headache of evolving a Pokemon, because again, trying to level up the Pokemon in this game after you beat up all the trainers is damn near impossible unless you want to keep battling the Elite Four over and over and over again, which I think I did do with a couple of them, and I found that was a pretty bad idea. But Oddish, it's a pretty simple capture, but it's only in Pokemon Red. On those specific routes. Easy capture once again. And you can either evolve Oddish into a secondary evolution to get Gloom, or you can catch it on like route 13 and 14, I believe. I guess we'll see here in this next clip. Oh, 12 through 15, so all 12 through 15 on that whole eastern coast of Kanto. Pretty simple capture. Pretty simple Pokemon. Gloom was caught. I had a pretty tough time getting Gloom. It is a fairly rare Pokemon in terms of percentage, and in 12 through 15, like 5% of the time. So you're gonna have to spend a decent amount of time in the grass. And you can't use this little trick I'm gonna use later with the repels. You can't use that for most of the Pokemon in this game, which is sad. But to evolve Gloom, I bought a Leaf Stone and I used it on Gloom. And we got Bioplume, which is an alright Pokemon, I guess. It's not as good as the counterpart Victory Bell, but it's decent all the same. But it's a little too late to be giving you tips on Pokemon, I guess. Anyways, we're going back to part 5, where I found Paris in Mount Moon. It's found on any floor, I believe, and it's fairly rare, but it's more common than Clef Fairy. So easy capture though. I don't have to really put to sleep any, and it ended up being a pretty useless Pokemon because I thought it could learn Flash, but it can't. It can just learn Cut. So that's too bad. And it's keep busting my balls here. And Nova's still taking those scratches pretty easily though. But the evolution I actually found again in the Safari Zone. I think you can also catch Paris there as well. So if you don't want to, if you wasn't catching Pokemon throughout the game, the Safari Zone can let you catch 10 to 15 new Pokemon if you haven't gotten there before. Anyway, the evolution of Paris is Parasect, and you see, you can get as far as on the unknown dungeon. I'm not going to get anything in the unknown dungeon quite yet, because I don't want to do that here. I want to save that for its own specific part. That's going to be the final part of this walkthrough, actually. Anyway, moving on to Venonat. We're halfway through, I think, getting all the Pokemon in this part. Venonat, 12 to 15 on the Safari Zone. Again, I get mine in Safari Zone, obviously, with the Safari Ball. I hate the Safari Zone. I like how you can get a bunch of Pokemon there, but the Pokeball you have to use is equivalent to the Great Ball. And the Great Ball, all these balls in this game are pretty bad. They suck pretty bad. You have to put your Pokemon to sleep if you really want to catch it. But I was able to find a Venomoth in the Safari Zone. You can obviously catch it in the Victory Road, which I've showed off before on training. But I was able to get Venomoth actually rather quickly. So sometimes I get lucky. Most of the time I don't, but next Pokemon is number 50, and we're going up north to Diglett's Tunnel to get Diglett and the trio. Diglett, since it doesn't have any abilities in this game, it can't trap you in, so you can't run away, or you can't switch Pokemon if you don't have the right one out, but I did have the right one out. So Sam is going to just put it to sleep, and I'm going to check Ultra Ball at it, and that should be it. Oh. No. And another Ultra Ball should do it though. And there you go. Let's see what they have here. Lives about 1 yard underground where it feeds on plant roots. It sometimes appears above ground. That's very descriptive. It's very descriptive. Anyways, we're going after Dugtrio, the evolution of Diglett. You can evolve it at level 31. I actually don't know. I never evolved Diglett to Dugtrio. I always caught Dugtrio if I use it on my team. But what I did here, as you saw, I put my Fearow to the front since level 25, put the Master Repel up. And since the Digletts all range from between like level 17 to 21, the Repel will block all those lower level Pokemon out that are lower than the beginning Pokemon. So it basically got rid of all the Digletts. And since they're trios, you can only find level 29 to 31. Those are the only things we're going to encounter. So it actually made it a little bit easier, well, actually a lot easier to find Dugtrio, and that's how I was able to catch it. We're moving on back to my Pokemon Blue save file, and that's where I was trying to find Meowth. You find it on routes 5 through 8. 5 through 8 is basically the counterpart to Mankey. Even though it's a normal type, not a fighting type, and it's not as aggressive. It's faster. It's actually just not the same in any way, which I don't know. Whatever. It ends up not being a counterpart in the remix of the game, which I find interesting because they just changed the wild encounter, wild encounters almost completely to an extent. I don't know. But I catch Meowth here, and I'm going to trade it obviously to my Pokemon Red file. I did not show the trading process. I felt like that's kind of redundant in this part. But I go to Victory Road and I do a lot of switch training with Meowth, with Meowth and Emil here, which went by rather smoothly. It just always takes a long time. It went by even faster because when you trade a Pokemon from a different cartridge, like I always say, get that gain boosted experience. I believe it's 2 times. It might be 50% more, but either way it helps. And Meowth is level 28 now, and it will evolve into Persian, a beautiful little cat. There you go. A critical hit machine. And we're moving on to Seafoam Islands. This is where I caught Psyduck. You can get it in a couple of places. If you want to use a super ride, if you like fishing, you can get it around 25 Cerulean City and in the Safari Zone, I believe, in those water spots. But I'm not really a big fan of fishing. I'm only going to do that for Pokemon you absolutely have to. And there was one Pokemon that I absolutely had to do it in this part, which was going to be at the end. It's going to be the last Pokemon in this part. But that is Psyduck. While lulling its enemies with its dull look, wily Pokemon. Well, I wasn't able to read that. I messed that up. I wasn't able to read that. It went by too quickly. Anyways, I made a mistake here. I trained up my Psyduck to a Golduck, and I wasn't recording at the time. So I'm just going to show you my Golduck here. But you can catch Golduck in the wild in Seafoam Islands. But first, when I was training up, I wasn't recording because I thought Psyduck would evolve into Golduck at level 38. But it evolves into Golduck at level 33, and I missed it. So my bad. Next Pokemon though is Mankey, which you can find, around 5 through 8, just like Meowth, but only in Pokemon Red. Simple encounter. I caught mine the route right above Vermilion, which is route 6, I believe. So pretty simple there. Extremely quick to anger. It could be docile one moment, then thrashing away the next instant. Which that could be a cool ability. I guess that's kind of like what Slow Start is, but Regigiga's Slow Start never reverts back. Anyways, I evolved my Mankey. That's the only way you can get Primeape, is by evolving it to level 28, or leveling up to level 28 so it can evolve. And same deal here with any training Pokemon. Well, I just go to Victory Road and I just switch train, and I guess I could get the experience. I don't know if I got the experience, so I think I just showed it off, but I didn't have enough Pokemon caught to get the experience all. So I might want to go get that if I didn't throw it away. For some reason, I remember myself throwing it away for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'll go look. But got a Primeape. Pretty solid Pokemon in my opinion. And we will move on to, I think, number 55 we're on. Or 50. No, this is actually 58, I believe. And that is Growlithe. We're going back to part 14, I believe, where we took on, I forget which route it was. It was the route right after Lavender to the west, and you're able to get Growlithe in that patch of grass with all those trainers surrounding it. Which it's I regret getting Growlithe, to tell you the truth. It's a good Pokemon, but it's not necessarily in this game. Because it doesn't have the moveset that it would get in the next couple generations, and it doesn't have the physical special split, which it would get in 3 generations from now to really help it. It's kind of like the inverse of the Flareon problem. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought Flareon was the best in this game, but then when the stats split and then when the moves split, Flareon just got worse and worse. But I feel like Growlithe and Arcanine just got exponentially better. But anyways, speaking of Arcanine, up next, I'm going to show the clip from part 15 where I used the Firestone after I bought it from the Celadon department store, which I'm very happy that this game you can buy stones, because I hate. Well, you can buy most of the stones. You can't buy moonstones, but I'm very happy that they have that in this game. I don't know why they didn't bring that back for Pokemon for the Johto games. I feel that's kind of stupid. I hate that. Anyways, I use Firestone on John. I'm taking my sweet ass time though. Come on, I know you can do it. Pass me. Come on, pass me. What are you doing? Are you sucking your own? Come on. There we go. There we go. So Arcanine, here we go. I think this was the biggest mistake I made in this playthrough. With that being said, it didn't end up hurting me that bad in the end. But on the road there, I was always anxious about, will Arcanine ever get enough EXP? But, you know, whatever. We're moving on to Poliwag, which that graph was up for a very short amount of time. I apologize for that. Go back and pause if you want to see. Basically, you can use a good rod on pretty much every spot of water, or any body of water. You're going to need a Poliwag. And I use my good rod on, I said the golden rod, not this game. I use my good rod in Vermilion, and I got a Poliwag. I don't know if you can get it 100% of the time, but you get it most of the time. And Poliwag's pretty simple to catch. You can get it around level 10. You can also get Poliwag. I don't think I put this on the graphic. Like I mentioned during the Lorelei part, you can catch Poliwag there with a good rod if you're interested in doing that. But I didn't want to do that. I just got mine for Vermilion. And that is that. That is the 60th Pokemon. And with that, that's the last one I'll be covering in this part. Come back 2 days from now when I take on 61 through 90. But tomorrow I'll be uploading another competitive guide with Pokemon Red and Blue. Catch you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please like, please share it. It helps a lot. And comment. I would like any feedback at all. And thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.